Hello everybody and welcome. My name's Josephine Corcoran and I'm a conscious leadership and career coach. And this week I'm coming to talk to you about what's happening astrologically and the energies that are at play with the planets, exploring the planets through the lens of their archetypes, and then looking at what that means for us in terms of how we work, in terms of how we're doing business, and in terms of how we lead. And this week we are still between two very, very powerful and potent eclipses. I was speaking about endings and new beginnings last week, and this week I wanted to come on and just really invite you to lean into where it is you're placing your mind's attention. Now, the reason that I invite you to really lean into this week is that tomorrow morning, very early, Pluto, the planet which rules Scorpio, where the full moon is going to be taking place. So the full moon lunar eclipse is happening in the sign of Scorpio. Now, Scorpio as an energy represents and is associated with where we invest our money with others. So where we also invest our resources with others. And I explained this a bit more depth last week. Now, as a result of this full moon, which really highlights how we value ourselves and how we value those that we share our resources with. And those resources as a leader are our leadership attributes and skills. As an employee, it's the skills that we bring to the table and that we provide for our employers. And obviously, as a business owner, it's about how we actively direct, create, and drive our businesses moving forward. And because tomorrow morning early, what's going to be happening is Pluto, the planet which rules Scorpio, is coming to a grinding halt. He's about to begin his retrograde. For the last couple of months, Pluto's been moving forwards and getting familiar with, for the first time in a number of years, Pluto's been getting familiar with the sign of Aquarius. Now, from a business perspective, Aquarius does reflect how we connect with others. It reflects our networks, it reflects humanitarian activities, it reflects innovation. And so if we think about the fact that Pluto's grinding to a halt, we're going to be seeing a deep dive, if you like, around technology, how we connect through technology, how we are engaging with like-minded people and collaborating with like-minded people and businesses to essentially do work that's purposeful and meaningful. So basically, for the rest of the week, the planet Pluto is going to be at a standstill. So it also invites us to go deep within, to really connect in with those subconscious patternings and to really identify what it is that actually ultimately is driving our decision making. Now, I talk about this with my clients a lot, the difference between fear-based decision making and heart-based decision making. Fear-based decision-making is where we go about our day and we react or we respond to circumstances based on our programming or our habits that we have formed since we were very, very young. We actually don't even realize that most of the time the decisions that we're making are as a result of insecurities or things that have happened to us when we were young. The conscious way of leading is where we lead from our heart, where we're aware of the choices that we're making and that we're choosing to drive our businesses and our careers forward from a place of clarity, from a place of knowingness, and from a place of deep purpose and meaning. And so this week, with Pluto stationing just ahead of this extraordinary eclipse that's happening over the weekend, we're going to have the opportunity to pause, to go within, to understand what ultimately has been driving the majority of our decision making. And we'll have an option, we'll have a choice. We can decide, do we want to be running our businesses more consciously? Do we want to be more compassionate? Do we want to make decisions that ultimately are for the greater good? Or are we going to continue to try and push, to try and do based on the way we've been programmed in the past? So that's the invitation this week, is to really sit with what is it that ultimately is driving your decision making, and how do you make time on a daily basis to pause, to reflect, to stop the mind, to actually allow yourself to go within and to go into your heart center. And it's through breath work and mindfulness and spending time in nature and being present. But equally, when we're in the city, it can be going into a meeting room on your own for 5 minutes and just breathing and feeling the breath going in your nose and feeling the breath as it leaves, and really just focusing on what is present for you at that very moment in time. So I wish all of you an extraordinary week ahead. And if you're interested at all in finding out how I work with my clients, there's a link to a discovery, applying for a discovery call with me. So sending you all so much love. Here's to conscious leadership, and I'll be back next week. Bye for now.